So a few weeks ago I posted a video called The Bible Doesn't Change, So What?, in which I compared eyewitness accounts in the Bible to eyewitness accounts in modern times of UFO sightings, the idea being that they're pretty darn similar. In fact, the UFO sightings are pretty consistent, and yet they don't get as much attention as the ones in the Bible, and people think the ones in the Bible happened, but the UFOs didn't, but whatever. And, you know, of course, this is the whole eyewitness testimony thing. You can't really rely on eyewitness testimony because people are either mistaken or lying. And I never really thought that Eric Hovind, in his latest video, would actually make this point for me. Let's watch.
What are aliens exactly? What are UFOs? And life on Mars? Is all that true?
Now, in their answer, they're going to talk about the TV series Taken, which compiled a bunch of alien encounters for entertainment purposes. But the interesting thing is, see if you can find parallels between the TV series Taken and the Bible. I'll give you a hint. Whenever they say aliens, replace that with miracles, or something like that, because they both rely on eyewitness testimony. Let's watch.
The Taken series was a long series of TV programs, and it was purported to be based on truth. Now, it's very difficult to sort of get the definitions right here. The events mentioned in the TV series were, how can we put this? Actual events in inverted commas, in that it sort of tied together many of the famous reports about aliens. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that I believe in aliens. We'll talk about what the Bible says about aliens in a minute. There are no extraterrestrial people among us. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are famous accounts that people have had that have been reported of people having supposedly seen these things, and that particular TV series wove all these in, and in such a way that they sort of gave an authenticity. And there are many people now who think almost as if that was a documentary series.
Really?
I really think that people have got that attitude, you know, as if it was a documentary series.
Now, in case you missed it, the documentary series they're talking about is just like the Bible, and the testimony in the documentary series is just like the testimony in the Bible. And here they are laughing about it. I think that's pretty damn ironic. Now, watch and be amazed as Eric Hovind continues to destroy the eyewitness testimony that built his Bible.
Unidentified flying objects every single time.
That's right. And of course, that's all that they are. But again, in the popular imagination, we're talking about the spaceships that these aliens are supposed to have traveled in. Now, the real question then is, people claim to have seen these things and claim to, in some cases, to have been abducted by aliens. Now, in the majority of cases, people have either made it up or they have got mistaken. Most sightings of UFOs, for example, are really sightings of the planet Venus.
Oh yeah, I see. So the people who are thinking they saw UFOs and were abducted are all making it up, but the people who talked to a burning bush or who thought they saw water turn into wine, no, they're not making it up, or they're not, you know, crazy. They actually saw that. That really happened. Now, granted, I am not a historian or a biblical historian. The circumstances surrounding the testimony of the people who wrote the Bible may or may not have been significantly different than UFO sighting testimony, but to me it seems that the two are very similar, and it's kind of interesting to see Eric Hovind laughing one off while accepting the other. Oh, and one more interesting thing. Sometimes when you run across a theist or religious person or whatever, and you try to explain to them what argument from ignorance is, they'll say that, oh, you're just using naturalism of the gaps to explain things. We don't know, but it's got to be naturalism. And once again, I really never thought I'd hear Eric Hovind make my counter-argument for me.
There's a small number of cases where people have claimed to have been abducted by aliens, and there doesn't seem to be any other explanation. Something has happened. Now, given that we don't believe that people have come from outer space, there must be some other explanation.
And, given that I don't accept that there is a magical sky daddy controlling things, that means that there must be some other explanation for the miracles in the Bible, right? Of course, Eric Hovind doesn't really seem to realize that the point works in both directions. He can say there aren't any UFOs because he believes God, and I can say the miracles weren't real because I believe there is not God. But, you know, he's probably never going to acknowledge this fact because that's just how he rolls, in a puddle of ignorance.